My last video on Dark Breaking Bad theories blew up, so I'm making a sort of part 2 here. But in this video it's not about theories, but an actual confirmed alternative version of the whole series that was so much more disturbing than what we saw on the silver screen with Breaking Bad. Let's roll intro and get into this. I do warn you though, it gets very, very dark. You may have heard about that Vince plan to kill Jesse off in season 1, but what I guarantee you've yet to hear is what would happen due to this death. Both the canon universe and Walter's psyche and character development. This is an alternative version pitched by Vince Gilligan to AMC and Sony television executives. In this gruesome alternative version of Breaking Bad, Jesse would get killed in season 1 or 2, as we already established, and Gilligan explains Walt is so filled with rage at the drug kingpin that kills Jesse, that he's out for revenge. This kingpin was a character that they never had in the series, but Gilligan says that the elements of this character would be found in Gus Fring, Tuco and Crazy 8. He would have basically been the ultimate form of evil. Gus's calculated mind mixed with Tuco's unpredictable nature and violence with some of Crazy 8 mixed in. Sounds like a recipe for disaster. Anyways, after this, Kingpin kills Jesse. Walt somehow captures this guy and shackles him in a basement. Walt then sets up a shotgun across the basement pointed at this Kingpin with a tripwire that the Kingpin can activate. Ultimately, Walt wants this guy to shoot himself when he's had enough of the torment. Then Walt starts lopping off bits of this guy, very precisely, starting with the toes and working his way up, cauterizing with a blowtorch. Walter works very systematically, returning each day at the same time to torture the bad guy. The guy is such a hardcore badass that he refuses to trip the wire, and the torture continues for weeks. Walter Jr. was going to stumble upon this place and discover this quote-unquote poor guy, restrained with body parts missing. Jr. was going to try to help him, lean in and give him some water. Then somehow the Kingpin realizes this is Walter's son, and only then does he pull the tripwire to kill both Junior and himself. When Gilligan pitched this idea in person to AMC and Sony executives, he admits that everybody in the room sized him up with a look that said, "You're seriously messed up." Who knows how this dark twist could have impacted the whole series if it was made official. The whole character development for Walter White, a meek, repressed chemistry teacher to a kingpin of his meth empire, was a crucial, important part of the show. Seeing him break bad more and more each season, from breaking down sobbing after killing Crazy 8 in the first season, to shooting bad guys like it's nothing in later seasons. From wanting to do the whole meth trade thing for his family at first, then later to do it for the love of the game and his ego and resentment towards how he lost out on a multi-million-dollar company, Grey Matter. If this alternative universe was real, Walt's transformation would basically go from 0 to 100 after the traumatic events of the loss of his business partner Jesse and his son Junior. How would you think the whole universe of Breaking Bad would be affected? How would the rest of the series alongside Better Call Saul look like if this happened? Leave a comment and feel free to theorize. Also, please like the video if you enjoyed it and dislike it if you despised it. This was all for today and I will see you next time. Goodbye. Nuh-uh, the video ain't done yet! I got a bonus scrapped idea for Breaking Bad that's also quite dark, but not as good as the first one, I admit. Alright, here goes. During a podcast appearance, Gilligan revealed an alternative, how do you say that? Alternate, not alternative. Alternate ending for Skyler in Breaking Bad. The series creator explained that the team had considered having Skyler leave with Ed Galbraith, also known as the Disappearer. You know, the guy who helped Walter disappear off the grid in the final season, and the guy who got Jesse to Alaska, with the whole front about vacuum cleaners. Another idea involved Walt and Skyler both leaving after Ed provided them with new identities. Ultimately, the plan was abandoned because the writers couldn't find a believable reason for Walt Jr. to willingly join his parents. The concept then shifted, and so much darker so. Imagining Walt and Skyler stuck in a Motel 6. In this version, as Walt tried to reassure Skyler that everything would be fine, he would instead discover she had taken her own life, described as not answering the motel door to the bathroom, to then be discovered by Walter in a bathtub full of blood. Which does naturally remind me of the previous Breaking Bad video I made, where there was a theory about something awfully similar. So if you haven't checked that one out, be sure to click it here in the end screen. Otherwise, bye bye.